can't pet you forever.
It's like, why not? Give me reasons.
You will learn how to
gotta get
pet
a
me
small dog.
forever. I gotta change the shirt, man. I'm
Dog
sweating.
Now?
I'm like sweating.
You have to do it now?
Oh, Jesus,
Like a pastor.
the Lord said, and the Lord said.
Hello, you beautiful nerds. I'm Jedi Master Grayson.
And I am your favorite cousin, Bill.
And welcome to
Does It Hold?
The show where we revisit classic genre films to see if they're as good or as bad as we remember.
And we may get drunk while we do it. Ignore this. But as always, we cannot do it alone, Alex.
Yes, that's
cannot
right.
do it alone.
That is correct. As always, we are joined by a special guest to help us determine if this film stands the test of time. You can catch her out on the
Shout out to
Morbid.
the Dodgers.
Oh yeah, I guess they won. If you don't hear those explosions,
Yeah, if you don't hear Fallujah outside, then if you hear that, then you know that the Dodgers won.
You can check out her amazing takes on her YouTube channel, The Morbid Zoo. Mariana, welcome back to the show. Yeah, definitely deserves that applause.
It's great to be here. I wore my flag shirt for the occasion. As I told you when we saw Twisters, that like nothing gets
Oklahoma.
talk about Oklahoma.
Right? Oh man, yeah. Like, and I'm definitely gonna
Jesus.
eventually. I really hope that these mics are pretty good. Hopefully, you can't hear it.
These mics.
Okay.
Yeah, that does sound like right outside the apartment.
Yo,
Wow.
son,
That's like in your courtyard, I think.
Yeah, I think that
it's not, but it definitely sounds like it
That's
all the
wild.
time.
Yeah, people had those
It's, that
fireworks
fucking,
ready.
it's like the fucking windows openers.
All right, we probably got like maybe 30 more minutes before that.
Yo, you know what's
Let's
crazy?
talk about Twister.
I do think that eventually, as we like start talking about this movie, I'm gonna be referencing the new Twister movie because there's so many similarities, like structure wise.
Same movie.
It's very much The Force Awakens to.
Yeah, you said
Yeah,
you
yeah,
liked
yeah.
the Twisters.
I did. I really liked Twisters.
Great.
Yeah, I had a great.
You
time.
liked it too. You all saw it
Yeah.
together?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, you weren't there. Couldn't
Nope.
help but notice.
Sure wasn't. You know what? Couldn't do it.
Were you just not interested in the?
Couldn't put my faith in such a nobody asked for this movie.
Sometimes
Nobody
you
asked
get
for
surprised.
Twisters. Like it's like Penguin. Like it's like
Yeah,
the
but
Penguin.
I mean, you can make a movie nobody asked for as long as it's good. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
And it's
I wasn't willing to take.
Ever since we saw Twisters, it's been my go-to example of like that's like the baseline quality movies should be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where it's like it feels very much like a late '90s action movie, and
Yeah.
it's good, and it's like it's tense and it's suspenseful, and
It's just
like
a movie.
Yeah, it's just a movie. It's fun, and everybody gets a character arc that's coherent.
Yeah.
And it's like this is what. That's how movies should be.
That's
like,
all we're
it's
asking
not
for.
that hard.
It's
It
not that
certainly
hard.
isn't so hard that like you people, it's your only job to make good movies, and you can't.
You
just
What do you
can't
mean, you
manage it.
people?
I just want to say that.
What do you mean, you people?
I like the way she said it better than you. What do you mean?
But you know, like there's definitely a lot of similarities between the old movie and the new movie, and it kind of made me like rewatching this. It kind of made me appreciate things that they changed about the new movie.
Yeah, because you don't
Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
You don't appreciate shit. It's like you sound like my mom.
Ma.
But yeah, let's actually talk about like how we felt the first time we saw the movie.
Feel like the first time.
Before we get into our opinions about this new time, Mariana, since you're our special guest, I'll let you go first. How did you feel about this movie the first time you saw it?
This movie is very important to Oklahomans. And
you said that.
Yeah, it's like kind of a sin to not watch Twister. And I don't think so. I moved to Oklahoma when I was 6, and I think that was like 3 years before they filmed this, and it was like syndicated on every channel when I was growing up, and so that's how I saw it. And I don't know. I mean, it was just like every movie was fun back then,
Yeah.
and seeing fucking Gary England on screen, and the fact that this is so obviously filmed in Oklahoma, like that's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're not going to New Mexico and saying it's Oklahoma because everybody thinks Oklahoma is desert for some reason. It's very strange. I don't know. But
That is strange.
But it was really impressive at the time, right? Like this movie was like cool, and it was like and so for Oklahoma, it's like not only was it filmed here, but it's good, and everybody agrees, And so like we're cool by default now, right? We get to join the rest of the nation.
I heard you in Hollywood.
Yeah, like comparatively,
I was in Twister.
Comparatively, there was a movie called Hurricane Heist that was filmed in Alabama, which I mean I'm not proud of because it was bad. I wish that we got a Twister level.
We had Talladega Nights.
Oh yeah, we did have Talladega Nights, and
Talladega
Nick
Nights.
Cage's character in Con Air is supposed to be I think he's from Alabama.
He's from Alabama, yeah. He's from like Selma.
Well, thank God you have Nicolas Cage from Con Air.
What would we do without him?
Representation right there.
What would we do without him?
But what about you, Bill? Do you remember how you felt the first time you saw this movie?
Like the very first time. Sorry, all the first time songs are in my head. Like a virgin.
Warning, marijuana affects the memory.
No. It didn't affect my memory. It's just music. Music affects the memory. That's what happens. No, I remember the first time I saw this movie. I saw it in the movie theater, man. It's fucking amazing. I think it was the first time I found out that there was a such thing as a drive-through still. I mean, a drive-through movie, drive-in movie.
Drive-in, yeah.
I think it was the first time that I ever realized that they still do that. Like, oh man, you can go to the drive-in. That's crazy.
That was always a silly thing where it's like it's the new one does this same exact thing where it's like everybody's having like a fun outdoor time.
Oh yeah,
and then a twister comes in and surprises. Are you kidding? No, he's at a rodeo, and then suddenly a tornado appears.
Yeah.
Like they're very easy to outrun.
Yeah, a tornado doesn't ever just appear.
Wow, and that's one thing that I think is a big failure of both these movies, and I understand why they did this because it'd be just like impossible to film like coherently. But it's always like clear skies, basically, And,
yes,
and which is that's weird. like I suppose it is the case that like the rain kind of goes away when and the weird stuff when a tornado is like, right on top of you. But like it's really weird that like these are storms, there's shit happening around them. It's the same thing with hurricanes where it's exactly the same thing where it's like it rains all day and then there's a hurricane. It doesn't just like blow through like a a monster.
Right,
exactly.
There's a build to it.
Hail and all that shit before you even see the tornado.
And that's part of the chaos.
Like, y'all had a hurricane? Not yet. Not yet. They say it's on its way.
I feel like that was a decision they were leaving on the table, but whatever.
Yeah, well, to sacrifice good lighting for a little bit of continuity errors.
And it does help with the urgency. Like, if you treat the tornadoes like they're a killer who's popping around the corner as opposed to something that like has a natural build to it, then of course, it's a little bit more, it has a little bit more urgency to it. It's like, our characters have to get out of here. But I do remember when I saw the movie the first time, it did definitely genuinely scare me because as a kid, I was so terrified of thunderstorms. And
our grandmother used to make everybody scared of them. That's the reason. Our grandmother used to be like, "Hey, it's raining outside. Don't y'all hear it?" Shut up!
Everybody lay down. It's time to go to bed.
Like, what are you talking about? We're inside the house. It's lightning. Don't you hear the lightning? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Then she'd be like, look, you don't hear it because if you shut up, the lightning won't hit. You talk too much.
It's
talk
your
too much.
fault.
Yeah. She's like, you talk too goddamn much. That's why
we all die.
That's the reason the fucking lightning is coming. I'm like, okay, well then I'm gonna take a bath because she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You ain't gonna get in the water.
You gonna get in the water while it's lightning outside? I was like, I don't think that's how that works, Grandma.
Yeah, like she was under the impression that activity brought lightning.
Yeah,
so like if you had any kind of fun or did anything, then
I swear to God, she saw somebody get lightning.
It's like a predator prey response.
Yeah,
somebody
freeze and it'll go away.
Yeah, like a tornado's a velociraptor.
Yeah, because when she was 12 years old, the park broke down and lightning came and shot into the house and struck her brother to death.
And now she's just like,
I don't know what happened, man, but I just know that she was traumatized and she believed that lightning had to do with your voice.
Grandma, no.
Grandma, no. But that's the reason Alex was afraid of thunderstorms.
Terrified of it. And,
yeah, so you didn't like Twister.
I mean, I still really enjoyed the movie, but it was much like when I saw Independence Day for the first time. I was like scared and petrified the whole time, but it was like a good kind of. Yeah, I mean, yeah, actually, yes. I think that has to do with our aunt, actually.
Yeah,
but
I think I was scared of aliens too, but that's all me. I come by that honest.
See, I feel like we loved the movie when we first saw it because we lived in Alabama, grew up in Alabama, and it was one of them situations where we got a healthy respect for tornadoes, and the people in the movie are going chasing tornadoes, but only because of the tragedy that they've suffered over the years.
Y'all get like diet tornadoes and diet hurricanes.
We get them F5s. We get them F5s.
Yeah.
In Birmingham. Yeah, we get them F5s in Birmingham, but nothing to brag about. Oh, we get death machines that run about a 6
get devastated too.
We just keep building shit.
We also have shitty infrastructure. So don't give a shit.
And I do want to talk about the story a little bit. What is the synopsis here? 2 storm chasers on a break of divorce must work together to create an advanced weather alert system by putting themselves in the crosshairs of extremely violent tornadoes. Now, that is like kind of the long and short of it. But what did you guys think of the story of this? Like
every time you say long and short of it, I'll be thinking about it'd be making me think about Donald Trump. You do the long and
have you seen with the accordion?
The long and short.
I haven't seen that.
Oh my gosh, I have to see that.
He added his little CG accordion and did a little accordion noises when he does the thing.
Oh,
incredible.
It's great. It's it's my favorite Donald Trump shit.
Just so y'all know, I'm not that late. This is just coming out late. Okay. Y'all are seeing this late. I'm not late.
I might have future Alex put a clip of that in this episode.
I don't want to take advantage of something. I have something that others don't.
But yeah, did you like this story of first of all, just following storm chasers and just the logistics of that, but also just this sort of love story, divorce story, Mariana? Did you connect with our main characters, Bill and Helen?
So here's the problem. Here's the problem.
Helen?
The B plot in a movie like this can't be too interesting because it's primarily a CG showcase. It's like a technological showcase. And look at this cool shit we can do with our fancy new computers, and we're gonna revolutionize the film industry. That's why Twister is important. Because it was the first time it was I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak too broadly, I guess, as I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. But I think it was the first sort of gamble that the film industry played on CG as a central focus of the movie, where it's I mean, the tornadoes are the setting here, and it's Jurassic Park kind of did that, but it was the dinosaurs themselves,
right?
And the setting itself was fine, but in this movie, it really is just like, look at all this crazy shit we can make in movie.
Right.
You think that it's something completely different than it actually is, and because of that, you can't have the audience sitting there being like, oh, but I wonder what's going to happen to their marriage. I sure wish we'd get back to that, you know? So it's, so like, I know this movie, and then like critics in the day, I know we're like, that's what they were critical of, is like, oh, the B plot isn't interesting. But it's like, yeah, the B plot isn't supposed to be interesting. It's silly, you know? But I think it still works. I think it's fine.
It shouldn't be interesting. Yeah, you're right. The B plot shouldn't be interesting. And that's actually how you know you're watching a good movie, in my opinion. It's the people who try to make the B plot so dope. Then I either don't care about the A plot, or both the A plot and the B plot are dumb.
I think you're onto something.
It's how like it's how man. Yeah, you know what? shout out to me. Shout out to Mariana. You're killing it, Alex. You need to catch up, Alex.
You're making some great points. But no, speaking of like critical reception,
remember I told you the point. You say you make great points. You say it.
I mean, yeah. And we be making points,
y'all.
But
I told him he says points a lot, and I always go point. And he's never noticed it before until I said it the other day. It's funny.
But yeah, like the reception on this film, Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 66% critic score and a 58% audience score, which I was kind of surprised that the audience score is lower.
Is that bad?
58. That's it's not great. No. Especially given how much money this movie made. I mean, to be fair, it was certainly before Rotten Tomatoes. To be fair, it was before Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes. But not before. The 90s is the hate-filled movie critic scene of all time. I mean, that's the golden era of hate.
It really is the golden era of critic snark.
Yeah, man.
They were the proto YouTubers.
You know, these YouTubers, they can help make a movie more popular by like getting more of the word of mouth out. But a critic back in the day could kill your movie on Thursday.
Oh yeah.
You got your movie come out Friday, you at the crib crying on Friday
Roger
morning.
Ebert says no, it's over for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If them motherfuckers was sitting on the couch yelling at each other and they both agree that your movie is bad, you're gonna be Friday morning just crying.
You're finished.
Just crying, man. Yeah. My career is over.
And surprisingly, you know, it didn't affect the box office like you mentioned, Mariana. It did pretty damn well. It grossed over $494 million at the global box office, making it the second highest grossing film of 1996.
It had a pretty inflated budget though, didn't it? Oh, you know what? 96? When did Jurassic Park come out?
94. Okay. Best year of movies ever.
It's a pretty goddamn great year. And this was a pretty damn good month for movies. I couldn't find.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
we've already talked about a few of these movies.
Oh my god, it's not fair. You know,
we got a couple of old and future Doesn't Hold Up episodes on here. We got The Craft.
Yep.
We did that for Halloween.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible, the first
Out Flipper, The Birdcage, James and the Giant Peach. Good lord.
Man, a lot of really good movies here.
Not fair. Not fair at all.
And this is just in this month. This isn't even the whole year.
Twister's gross and Mission Impossible's gross.
Yeah. Right? There's a lot of this.
That's what I wanted to show. Suck it, Paramount. Also, give me free streaming on my Paramount Plus, please.
And this is obviously before Mission Impossible became like the big juggernaut box office wise that it is now. But that's
but still, it was the movie that year. Everybody was saying toast. Toast. Everybody was walking around.
Red light, green light.
Everybody was walking around saying them words, man.
Great movie. It's still probably my top 3 Mission Impossible movies.
Ethan. People were saying those things.
But yeah, like it still made a shit ton of money. And I think that it just adds to or it speaks to the popcorn nature of the movie. Like this isn't high art, but it's still a fun time.
And it was super high budget, wasn't it? It didn't
what was
hold on, man. You know, there's people who watch this that don't know what the fuck you just said, man. Okay, like
what?
high art because they high. And what you mean? What else did you say? You said some other shit too. Man, what's high art?
I don't know. Like, like it's not. I'm saying they're not making a fucking Citizens Kane or anything. This is just a fun movie.
It's a technological showcase.
There you go.
Look at this cool shit we can make with our cool new computers. Give us more.
Exactly. Hey, I'm just trying to look out for the little guy out there.
Little guy,
the guy who don't have picture-in-picture on his phone, so he got to Google what high
okay,
art is.
But to your point, here's the question: because technology now has so outpaced this, like, and to the point that this looks kind of silly, I wouldn't say that the CG holds up.
CG.
But like, is it now a bad movie? Which I guess is the entire point of the show. Thank you. But like, does it work even though the CG looks silly?
Well, let's talk about MVPs of this movie. Let's talk about the biggest performances, your favorite performances, because let's see if that aspect of this movie holds up. Alex, who was your MVP for this movie? Who's getting your Oscar for Twister? Or I guess best.
There were a lot of there were a lot of good performances in this. There's like a murderer's row of great character actors. I really like Helen Hunt. She's like top 10 tank top actors.
Top 10 tank top actors.
Yeah, she is.
So obviously, we get Bruce Willis is number 1, Jodie Foster number 2, Kurt Russell number 3.
Man, you moving too fast.
Oh, sorry. Obviously,
how can I get a ding ready when you're going so goddamn fast?
Obviously, Bruce Willis number 1,
yeah.
Jodie Foster number 2, Kurt Russell number 3, Brie Larson number 4, and Helen Hunt's my number 5. I think.
Where's who plays Sarah Connor?
Oh yes, actually. Damn, what is the actress's name? Oh man, she escapes me.
But she's top 10 for
Damn,
sure.
actually,
She escapes me as my new album.
I'm gonna switch. Number 4 is gonna be Sarah Connor, and number 5 Helen Hunt. And number 6 Brie Larson. I think that works. What about you, Mariana? Who's your MVP of this one?
Rest in peace, Kurt Russell.
Oh, I guess Helen Hunt. Yeah, Helen Hunt's my MVP.
Russell is very much still around.
No, Kurt. Yeah, but on his list, he didn't make the.
Oh.
He didn't make the tank top actors.
Oh, he made the list. He was my number. He was my number 3, right? Yeah. 1 Bruce Willis, number 2 Jodie, number 3 Kurt, number 4 number 4 Sarah Connor, number 5 Helen Hunt, number 6 Brie Larson.
Okay.
This is a very important list.
It is important.
Very important list.
Very important. Oh yeah.
MVP.
Who plays the fiance? I think she's great.
Jamie Gertz.
Yes, Jamie Gertz. Jamie Gertz.
Yeah.
Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt are fine, but Jamie Gertz and and it's partly how they wrote the character, and I appreciate that. But like, she could have been such a bitch,
Yeah.
And I appreciate that she's not at all a bitch. Yeah. Like, you kind of expect her to be, but it's like, oh no, she actually is. She's just not this kind of person.
Right.
Yeah.
Could have easily gone that way, because she's supposed to be the big city girl.
Yeah, exactly. With the high powered job and like a lot of money or whatever.
She could have been the blonde lady from The Parent Trap.
Yeah, exactly.
She was fine as hell in this movie. Also, by the way, she is still fine as hell. What show was she in? When we watching something?
I don't know. I was watching. She was in this 2010 series called The Neighbors. That was really
I know
good.
what you're talking about. Yeah. But anyway, shout out to her. She was great in this. I'm going to go with. No, I'm gonna go with her too, man, because she's killing it. I was trying to go with somebody else, but
it's appreciation night.
You know what? Actually,
she deserves it.
I know who I'm going with. I'm going with somebody else.
Oh snap! Okay, wild card. Who is it?
I'm going with the dad at the beginning of the movie who dies.
Okay.
That motherfucker. He flew out that when he because I just watched it just a few minutes ago. I was just like, man, I don't even remember this part that well. and I saw them almost forget the dog. And he got the dog, and they're like, "Come on!"
Yeah.
Dog came down.
I'm still pissed that he didn't just pick the dog up on the way out.
Exactly. Said the same thing. But why didn't nobody else pick the dog up?
I know.
Like nobody picked the dog up. Bunch of
selfish think for themselves.
Yeah, man. But anyway, somebody called PETA. It was 96 though. But anyway, this is how they did it back then. He was holding on for dear life. He gives you, this is how we first get a little taste of like what it's like to live that Oklahoma life.
Yeah, is this a day in slice of life in Oklahoma?
Tuesday. I mean, sometimes like it is a joke in Oklahoma that like every now and then you'll get a tornado warning on your phone. It's like an Amber Alert. Like it makes the noise no matter what.
Oh, okay.
And you look at it and you always do like a cost benefit analysis of like, well, do I want to? Maybe this is just my time. You know? I go back to sleep.
Do I really need them Cheez-Its? I'm still gonna go get them Cheez-Its.
Yeah, it's like we're laziness and survival.
I'm still going to Publix. Right. What do y'all got a Publix?
Publix.
Yeah, did you guys have? You guys didn't have Publix.
That's not funny. Winn-Dixie?
We had Homeland.
Homeland grocery store. Shout out to Homeland grocery store. Shout out to Oklahoma.
Sounds powerful. I want to shop.
I know.
Homeland. That sounds like a Peacock TV show that's coming out. Some Western TV show coming out on Peacock.
Yeah, it's produced by Taylor Sheridan.
Exactly. This is totally off topic. Did y'all see?
That's okay.
That guy's Sheridan didn't produce it. But who's the main guy in the Yellowstone?
Kurt.
No,
wait.
No.
Kevin Costner?
Kevin Costner, yes, thank you.
He's the Western guy.
It's really bad.
Oh, yeah. It's called really, Frontier
really
or something like that.
It's not Frontier. It's something
else.
It feels like it should be called Homeland. Is what I was reminded. It's something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it long something like Longhorn something?
It's really bad, and that's all I have to say about that.
That's the 2-part movie thing, right?
Yeah, it came out and everybody hated it, so they were like, well, because they were going to release it like August the next month, and they were like, I don't think so. It's on VOD.
Damn, who would have thought that movie would fucking
Kevin Costner put so much of his own money into that too.
Yeah, I heard it was a big passion project, but it seems like that's kind of usually the way it goes in Hollywood. If you're going to put all of your money and time into it, it might suck.
It might suck.
Medellin, Entourage for everybody who watches Entourage.
Just ask, what's his name? Baldwin.
Go out,
Baldwin. Put all your money in there.
Kill the lady.
Yeah,
is it too soon for me to say it was a killer movie?
I don't know. Have you seen it? Did you all watch Rust?
No,
I have not seen Rust.
Is it out? No, I don't think it exists. I'm just saying. I'm just using jokes.
They didn't shut down production or anything.
I'm just doing jokes over here.
It would be crazy if Rust came out and fucking Batgirl got went to the garbage.
I know.
It's like that was an actual movie.
I think all movies should come out, good or bad. I don't care if what happened. Put it out.
I agree. I completely agree. That's how it used to be.
Let us decide whether it's good or not.
That's right.
All right.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Sorry, that was a lot. I just want to show this dude eating it real quick where you're
respect, okay?
That dog.
The dog was almost my MVP.
I was so happy.
Hell yeah.
He's like, you thought you was gonna leave me, you stupid motherfucker.
Right? There's a whole story in that dog's eyes. It's like,
so you were just gonna leave me. Take him away, God. Take him
over
away.
The moon. But yeah, I did want to talk about this scene a little bit just because,
man, shout out to it. Man, fuck it. The dog is my MVP, man.
That's such a cute dog.
Changing my
really cute
I was going to go with the dog, but I was like, he's not in the movie long enough. But you know what? Fuck that.
I know. I'm surprised he doesn't come back. In some way, I don't know.
I'd be great if he showed up like in the time jump and he's just got a beard.
Super old.
I'm fucking with it.
Just the ricketiest dog you've ever seen.
Yeah. I want him to be the
Across
same energy, the exact same dog, with just a beard, gray beard on him.
He's just always in the back of the truck. But I do want to talk about this scene because it is like, I guess, the emotional setup for the movie. And again, there's a lot of parallels between this opener and the emotional motivations between the female main character and the new Twisters movie, where like there's this tragedy of a loved one that's eaten up by tornadoes. So now they gotta fight the tornadoes, right. Much like Batman. But what did you guys
like Batman?
You think you can get away with killing my daddy? Tornado.
You know that Boss Baby tweet? Where it's like, guy who's only ever seen Boss Baby. I'm getting a lot of Boss Baby from this.
I have not. You know what? Guy who's only seen Boss Baby. Boom. I want to have a conversation with that guy. But yeah, like, what did you guys think of just this being the emotional core and like emotional motivation for Helen Hunt's character? You think that's believable as just like a motivation for her character going throughout the film?
Yeah,
Morgan?
I think so. Tornadoes are scary. I think that's one thing that like this one pulls it off. I guess is pretty good, but the new one is much more of a horror movie than this one is.
Yeah,
it's like scary, and I think that's interesting because it seems like the new one is certainly not a technological showcase, so it has to sort of make its case in some other way and be good otherwise, which I think is kind of an achievement. I think there's a pretty good argument to be made that the new Twisters is better than this Twister.
How come we didn't pick Bill as an MVP?
Fuck Bill.
He's dry as fuck in this movie. I love Bill Paxton.
Rest in peace, y'all. Rest in peace, big dog. Rest in peace, big dog.
He's dry as fuck in this movie. He's like one of my least interesting characters in this.
Man, I love that. Yeah, you know what? Y'all are right. I was about to try to.
And he's kind of shitty. Like he brings his like.
No, we're not gonna go that far. Hold on, we're not gonna go that far. You just gotta relax. He's kind of shitty. Hold on. You're not talking about his performance. You're talking about the character.
Yeah, like because I do want to talk about the character a little bit. And also,
it takes two to fucking tango, Bill.
I just was making sure he wasn't saying that it was acting was terrible. I was hold on, dog.
I don't think
because I'm gonna have to get up. I'm gonna have to get up. No, he's not. Yeah,
there are no acting crimes being committed. Yeah, he's fine. He's just not doing anything spectacular compared to some of the other actors in the movie. But I do want to talk about his character a little bit now since you brought him up. I think it's like real shitty to bring your fiance into this situation and then just like openly mac on your.
They didn't even bother
your ex,
like giving any kind of excuse for why the fiance was there.
Yeah, she could have chilled.
They could have at least said something about like, oh, too bad I had to come with you,
right?
Because I don't know, my sex therapy conference was canceled, and so was my flight home.
Yeah, they didn't really do a good job of explaining that. It's like, we just bought this truck, maybe. Yeah, you want to go ride the truck type thing. That's the thing. That's the thing.
I want to ride a truck. I've never ridden a truck.
Well, no, you've ridden in the truck, but I just never ridden in that truck.
You're on a big tornado truck.
It's a brand new truck. Nobody's ridden in that truck. It's brand new.
Even if they wanted to go like the more antagonistic vibe of where she's like, I'm not gonna let you out of my sight type of thing, where she's just like super jealous. It's like, of course I'm not gonna let you go see your ex by yourself.
Which again, I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, like that.
That would have been the easy way out.
Yeah, they made a better decision with this form of character for Jamie, but yeah, it's just very odd decision making by Bill. He comes off as kind of a jerk in these situations. Sorry,
I don't know.
I wish I remember the character's name. I feel like I'm talking. I don't know. I'm not talking about you.
I don't know why I'm getting picked on. What if his name's Bill too?
I don't remember any of their names.
I think his name's Bill too.
It might be.
I think the character.
I think you might actually be right.
I think the dude's name is Bill, and his real name is Bill, and Bill is Bill, and I'm Bill.
And you're Bill.
Fucking so much confusion. Bill is come due though, and
his name is Bill.
I told you,
Bill Harding.
I told you it's not confusing
and
at
Joe,
all.
That's
Joe, yeah,
and Melissa. Okay,
Joe,
Dr. Melissa Reeves.
Yeah, no, I thought his character was mad bogey. Like they were trying to give him this like edge with all the corn dog on it still. It's like like it was just so much corny when he was like, "You slime, I'll get you, you slime,
you slime,
I'll fucking get up." Like I guess they can't say fuck because they were trying not to get an R rating. They're trying to fall into that PG-13 rating. So everything he does that they want to be edgy is just doesn't land because he's just so goofy look like the whole time. And he plays it off. We all know, knowing that he got great acting chops. We all know he's just camping it up in this to a certain degrees. It's like, oh shucks, oh what's he doing here? What's the dude's name? Elliot or what was the dude's name? Their enemy.
Oh yeah, Carrie L's character.
I can't remember his name.
I have his
what's Elliot?
He's
doing
not in
here?
for the science.
He's not in it for
Jonas.
Jonas. Right. Oh, let me tell you about Jonas. He's not in it for the science. He just wants all the glory and the money. Wants all the cameras.
Is there a lot of money and storm chasing?
Right? Yeah, like
the cutthroat world of meteorology.
And it is weird. James Spann hears about this. He's gonna have our whole YouTube channel taken down. Shout out to everybody. Everybody who grew up with tornadoes in their life has a news guy, a weatherman.
Oh yeah.
And you had mentioned earlier. You mentioned the guy's name, but just for anybody,
that's right.
Anybody who doesn't know,
Gary England
in that opening scene,
Oklahoma hero.
he was the meteorologist on screen. That they were watching on the TV,
right.
And he's an actual meteorologist.
That means you don't. If you was he
and
in Twisters?
And in the new one, Mike Morgan.
Boom!
Oh, he's the new guy.
Nobody listens to Mike. He's a podcaster. He always calls it wrong.
But did it still feel good to know that he was like that? It's authentic.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like not to me.
We're a very sensitive people.
Yeah, you can't do a movie about tornadoes in a state and it not be authentically the weathermen in that state. Because they literally save people's lives. Like they do. The really good ones, especially, like they really do save people's lives. So people be like best friends with a weatherman and they never met the motherfucker in their life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
I met James Spann at school one time, elementary school. He came in there and told me about shit. I was like, oh shit, it's James.
Those guys
Spann.
Never pay for a drink in their life.
Man.
Oh yeah, man. Your money's no good here. I don't know what this accent is. It's definitely not Oklahoma or Alabama.
Been somewhere hanging in Gotham too long.
I grew up in Oklahoma my whole life.
The upper west side of Oklahoma.
But I do like you're talking about saving lives.
Saving lives.
We talked a little bit about Helen Hunt's motivation throughout this film. I remember just distinctly when I was a kid thinking that Dorothy was. And this is my gross misinterpretation of
who's Dorothy,
like what they were doing. Dorothy was like the machine that the tornadoes. Yeah. I completely misunderstood everything in that scene, and I thought that this was like some sort of machine to like stop tornadoes.
Yeah, like the new one,
right? Exactly, which made the new one so satisfying for me. I was like, oh, this is what I thought that the first movie was.
Alex,
about.
They can't get rid of them if they didn't learn about them in the first one. Dummy.
It all connects, sort of, which is weird, because in the new movie they just show Dorothy, and it's like, well, where did Dorothy come? Is this a sequel? Or
it is a sequel, man. I'm telling you, that movie is a sequel.
Yeah, like it's, but I also like that it's not like so inherently tethered to the old movie, like,
right? But it's not an in-your-face sequel.
Yeah,
right.
Like in your face.
Be a sequel without being a sequel. That's cool.
In the same place.
I think that there's been a better turnout for that movie had they said, hey, this is a sequel, but it ain't got nothing to do with none of the people before. but we just jumped.
I mean, it did pretty well. It's not like it was a flop.
Yeah, it's still like killed at the box office.
Yeah, it did.
And but yeah, like I honestly, I'm curious. I don't actually know how they marketed it because I was very much trying to like avoid.
They marketed
There's a
it
lot of trailers
as exactly. They just marketed it as there's gonna be tornadoes and shit.
Right.
That was it.
Get ready for tornadoes.
We got some people.
But yeah, like, what do you guys think about just like the functionality of Dorothy, just like this thing that studies tornadoes? Like, did y'all like rewatching it this time around? Did you think that this was a valiant effort for what they were doing? Since
valiant,
like you said, like you said, like tornadoes aren't just popping around the corner and then destroying communities.
Is the what worth the? I don't know. There's a saying.
I mean, it's
juice
like
worth the squeeze.
Juice worth the squeeze.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, what do they mean when they say 3 minutes of warning? I never had 3 minutes of warning. You know, it's always like pretty obvious if a tornado is going to be in the area.
Yeah, 3 minutes is crazy.
Yeah, warning for what? Like, is that when they put up the actual tornado warning instead of tornado watch, or that's when the sirens go off? That's a weird thing. Not a single siren in this entire movie.
Oh, there isn't.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird. I didn't even think about that.
There's sirens in the new one, I think.
Were there sirens back then, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know we had sirens.
Definitely.
Yeah, that induced my trauma when I was a kid. Every time I heard those sirens.
I don't believe we always had sirens now, but let me look it up. But I don't want to say that and be wrong.
They got the meteorologist right. They didn't get the sirens right.
That's crazy.
Possibly. We got Bill on the case fact.
Nobody's perfect.
But nobody's perfect. You know, I was trying to say Pobody's nerfect.
Nobody's nerfect.
But I fucked it up. I was like, I actually said it correctly. But yeah, like what else happens in this movie? Like, because we do get Bill falling more in love with Helen, or Bill falling more in love with Joe. We get this
played by Helen Hunt.
It's played by Helen Hunt. What do you guys think about this? Like, this how it just sort of culminates in that rainy scene where Bill all but like professes his love for her. This is obviously like we said, the less interesting storyline. But
who can really fuck off? Aunt Meg is such a they don't have a good dynamic, Bill and Joe. You know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't be together. and he's getting married. You know, and all she can talk about is, well, he's here, is it? You know, and like trying to. I don't like it. It's weird and slimy. It's the only thing that like in terms of people's relationships with each other in this movie, I don't believe.
She's gross. She's fucking the whole thing up, man. That's why she lived by herself.
That's why she broke her leg.
Dude, that was crazy. It's like, yo, you see that this dude is all awkward about having to do all this anyway, but you're gonna make her press up on him even harder.
Yeah, you're actively encouraging bad behavior at this point.
It's like, man, if they was gonna do it, let them do it, but don't be like all up in their face,
encouraging it. Jesus.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's like Sebastian.
Kiss. Oh man, you took my joke. Damn! I just nudged you. I shouldn't have nudged you. See, I nudged him.
Gotta be quicker on the draw next time.
Then I nudged him, and then he was like, "Yeah, it's my turn." Bam!
You didn't see that coming?
But also a very creepy notion that your Godfather Crab Daddy get you hooked up with some dude, keep trying to get you kissed by some dude. So go on then.
Yeah, that was.
Go ahead, nigga, kiss her. Shit. He's singing it.
You gotta go home.
Kiss her.
Sorry, yeah. But yeah, moving on.
She needs to stay out. It's not her business.
It's not her business.
Mind your fucking business,
exactly.
Meg.
It's weird. It's creepy. And did we establish if Meg is the mom? Is Meg the mom?
No, Aunt Meg.
Yeah,
Aunt Meg.
Because her parent, did both of her parents
die?
No,
her parents didn't die. We just don't give a fuck about her mom.
They have a strained relationship, I guess.
Yeah, she's a drug addict.
Yeah, they don't ever mention her.
Yeah, not at all.
Is meth big in Oklahoma?
Oh yeah,
Maybe that's what happened.
That's all we do there.
Well, there it is. We know what happened to Mama all in. Mama got hooked on meth after Cletus died in the tornado.
Man, I want to see
just gave
like
that nigga a terrible name.
Cletus.
Cletus.
I would love to see the Twister spinoff where it's kind of like the second season of The Wire, where it's just we see what happens with her mom and she's like all strung out.
That should have been the sequel.
Everyone, critics are saying that the franchise has gone off the rails. But yeah, like what happens toward the end? Yeah, we get this what you call it? Proclamation. Profession. Proclamation of love with Bill and Helen.
Proclamation.
And then just like stuff starts going in, starts getting pretty crazy. We just get like a bunch of like really cool action sequences. Actually, let's talk about the action a little bit, or just like the big set pieces, because we get crazy shit like driving through cars. And we mentioned
driving
about
through
this.
cars.
Sorry,
driving through houses.
Driving cars through houses.
That's such a silly shot.
Like, what did you guys think about those kinds of like?
That was
like
pretty dope because it was practical. Driving through the house.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty cool.
It's cool to see what they accomplish. It doesn't make me take the movie more seriously.
No,
you know what I mean?
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give the movie another bump up because these action scenes in general throughout the whole movie were pretty dope. Like this truck is a character in this movie. The other truck, it becomes a character when they total the first one. See,
right?
It's like you think you just meeting this truck, you see it, and you're like, oh, okay, truck, okay. And then they blow up the other one, basically. It falls upside down. And then they say, well, I guess we're going to have to use your truck. And that red truck is like, hey, I got you, baby. I got you. And then they go through all hell the whole movie.
Yeah, the truck kind of has its own little arc.
And he lasts till the end. He's like, it's like, a black guy in 96. It's like you used to die all the time in every movie. Now you're making it to the end of the movie.
Upgraded it to black best friends.
Exactly. It's crazy. It's great. Shout out to Dodge Ram.
But yeah, like all the action set pieces are pretty impressive. But it all like sort of builds up to the pretty much the last scene where this is like their third time trying to use Dorothy to study a tornado. Yeah, and it actually works. I
have no idea why it worked then, and as opposed to before.
Yeah, something about
timing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all going in the air.
Oh wait, no, that's what it was.
Why does everything get sucked up? But those little things.
They remember they had to start. Yeah, I know. I don't.
Well, how does everything get sucked up?
Well, also they seem to have this horrible luck where they drive through a tornado, and as soon as they do so, it just dies.
Yeah, that was another thing. That was another.
That's pretty funny.
Constant.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, you see that kind of shit.
Those motherfuckers just keep going.
They'll
if you guys wanted to stop tornadoes, you just try to drive up to it.
Put something in its way. Tornadoes are famously sensitive that way. If they meet the slightest bit of resistance, they
just give up.
They certainly don't tear it to shreds.
Do not try this at home, kids.
Don't drive through tornadoes. It's not going to go well for you.
No, I drove alongside of one once. It was crazy.
They're scary.
It doesn't really make a lot of sense that the Dorothy balls don't get sucked up, but they mentioned at some point that they had to tie these disfigured aluminum cans to the balls to give them some sort of aerodynamic nature. Balls. It's like, why did you look at me when you said that?
Stay closer to Mike.
Every time he said balls, every time
like
with the Dorothy balls, like why you got the balls every time?
The balls. I've been watching too much Penguin, I think.
I really think you have, because you just said bulls, and I was like, why are you saying bulls like that?
Also, every time I watch an episode of The Penguin, I'll watch like 45 minutes of the Batman just because I'm just amped. I'm just ready to be in Gotham. We've talked about so many things that aren't Twister today. But Yeah, like this
because we've got discipline, comedic discipline.
Comedic discipline.
Got to follow the bit.
But yeah, like, did you guys feel like this was a cathartic ending to the scene? Because like we get the Dorothy works, and then we get another big crazy tornado scene, which is kind of reminiscent to the opening scene where Homeboy gets sucked up into the tornado, but everybody's saved by a belt.
Oh yeah, we're talking about the most important part of the movie right now.
I honestly don't remember how it goes. Fill me in.
Yeah, so
tell me what happens in the movie I watched yesterday.
They run away from the tornado because it's an F5 that they end up finding.
Yeah.
And then it goes up into the Dorothy, but they gotta get the hell up out of here. They go and run. Let me tell you, the running was too long. They should have been dead, or they should have gotten out of the cornfield at some point. Like,
that's a slow tornado. It feels like
that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Those things.
Is this the F5 also?
Yeah, this is the F5.
Big Daddy, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. So they should be moving way faster. You talk about something that's moving like 100 miles an hour, dog. It just doesn't look like it's because it's 5 miles wide. It's like it's wide as fuck, dog. Like there's no way that they're running from an F5. But let's just say that they do. They run.
Yeah, like this tornado right here, like that's what it would look like if you yourself are like 10 miles away. You know?
Damn.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly. That's what it
like,
looked like
if you're as close as they're supposed to be, you don't see anything.
Right. It's got to be a wall of just black wind.
Yeah.
I do like how they try to do that by just showing you a corner of it. You know what I mean?
That's the best they can do.
That's really the best they can do.
But that's like, that's one of the limitations of this movie that I think the sequel actually does pretty well. You know, where it's like they do the silly thing sometimes with the baby tornadoes.
Right. Yeah.
And that's part of the thing in it, I think. Right. That like the little ones are too weak and they can't hold the things up.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I may have just completely.
No, anything that's said on this channel
fact.
is a fact.
But like the big ones, they do that pretty well where it's like there's no running. You sit and you grab onto whatever you can. Yeah. And that's it. And then the rest is just noise and wind and there's no getting out of it. And I think that it's very 90s. And that's what keeps this from being a horror movie, where I think the new one actually is a functional horror movie, because it's like it's very 90s to set action movies like this up so that like you feel as though if you were in that situation, you'd probably be okay.
Right.
Like you could get away. You could get away if you really wanted to.
Yeah, if you really, really wanted to.
The 90s was definitely about that in any movie. Like, hey, it's okay because
you're the hero.
You're the hero, the big dog.
That means you're gonna be fine.
Which is why millennials we're so fucking.
Saddest generation.
It's so sad because we all are special.
Yeah. And yet.
Exactly.
And we look around and yet.
But then they end up tying their asses together to a belt. Well, it's not a belt, to be fair.
To be fair.
It's like it's a strap for a horse.
Oh, okay.
Is that what it is?
It's a horse belt.
It's the horse belt.
Sure.
It holds the horse's pants up.
Exactly. It is, so it's a little bit bigger than it's supposed to be. It's a little bit bigger than the both of them.
You have to loop it a few times.
Yeah, and so then they do that into a pipe that is in the ground. I will say this.
This shit, no fucking way.
I will say this.
No way.
The pipe would have held them down.
You are dead. You are dead.
But yes, exactly.
Dead in this situation, no question.
I feel like the wind would just like tear your bones to pieces.
You're holding on to it. Please.
I don't care. The belt would hold you on, but
the belt might hold you on.
Your body would shred to pieces.
Yeah, just be like a bag of bones.
With all this
just
shit, like being around them. I mean, you're being cut to shreds. Tornadoes are so scary.
Let's just say for shits and giggles. Let's say for shits and giggles that there's no debris in this tornado. Like Alex just said, the wind alone would be sucking the bones and breaking and cracking their bones
Almost
all over the place.
Yeah.
That pipe would only be
anything that hits you is going to be going at like 200 miles an hour.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that's going through you. It's a train,
the pipe would only do two things. It would make sure you stayed on the ground. And
make sure they find your corpse.
That was the second part. It would make sure you stay on the ground, but it would break your body into so many pieces that now people would just be able to identify your body.
Yeah.
That's
well,
it.
this has a blonde tuft of hair on, so I guess that was Joe.
They'll be able to identify the mush that's left behind.
Your teeth will still be there. That's how they identify you.
Not a scratch.
Not a scratch.
To bring up the new film again, they do like you said, they do some silly shit. Like one of my favorite silly things that they do in that movie that seems like sort of believable is when Glenn Powell's like group of people they'll go into one of the baby tornadoes and they'll like shoot fireworks up inside of
silly.
it. It's so goddamn silly. But they do all these things.
Hold on. You are not going to just say that shit. Like that's just
normal. There's a fire tornado too. That one's a little bit more believable because it hits an oil refinery or something.
Okay, y'all are making this movie less.
It's pretty dope.
Like it's good.
No, it's great. It's great.
Movie because
I appreciate that they do that because there has to be some fun, Like it's
fire tornadoes.
Yeah, it's really silly.
It looks
really
rad
silly.
though.
It does look rad, but I mean,
water
it's like
tornadoes happen.
That's a hurricane, I think.
No, they got them little spouts, and we seen a dirt tornado.
Oh yeah, the little. I drove through one of those ones that like shoved my car to the side.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I could see it coming. I was driving up to Phoenix.
Yeah,
and I could see it coming, like approaching me, and I was like, "Oh,
that's crazy."
Where is Dorothy when you
We thought we saw like 7 of those on the way in when I was moving here. He was already living here, and we drove from Birmingham. All we saw through there was like, I was like, well, glad they're out there.
Yeah, they seem to.
And by the way, they were about 5 miles away, and they still were less. They were doing more damage to our car than that shit was doing to them while they were running away from the tornado.
Yeah.
See how I brought it back to.
You did.
To this
comes back to Twisters.
You see that?
Yeah. But I mean, like in the new one, like I do think it's whatever. It does have to be.
But in the new one though,
it does like.
No, go ahead. I just thought it was hilarious.
It does, they're supposed to be fun, they're supposed to be outrageous or whatever, but like it does damage the credibility a little bit. I think even just like seeing fire in a tornado like adjusts your expectations of what kind of power that is. You know what I mean? Because it's like, no, you don't understand. Nothing exists in that.
I feel like Fire Tornado got started because the director walked in on the CGI department playing around.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh,
get to work."
Can we? He was like, "Can we do that?" They saw the fire. He saw the fire tornado, and they were like, I mean, we can.
It's fun.
Yeah, we can do it." And he was like, "Yeah, we're doing that."
Let's get fucking weird, man. Yeah. And it's funny, the director of that movie, I didn't see the movie that he did before Twisters, but apparently it was like this low budget, like really intimate film. It kind of makes me wonder what Hollywood chooses their directors for these kinds of movies. But I feel like he did like implore a lot of empathy and like heart,
that's wild too, because he was apparently like a nightmare to work with.
Oh shit, really?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
like on Twisters.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Or like on the first Twister, right?
Oh no, sorry, on the new one.
Oh, on the new
one. I was
one.
talking about the new one. Sorry. We should be talking about the old one. But who did direct the the person?
Outrageous, ridiculous. I'm literally the one who brought up the new one.
No,
I simply can't talk about the thing you want to talk about.
He kept bringing it up too. I'm like, y'all are the only ones who saw.
I preface at the beginning of this. I'm probably going to talk about the new one a lot, just because like there's so many similarities.
It begs to be talked about. It does.
Begs.
At John DeBont. Okay. I do remember hearing that this is not the best set to work on.
Well, he would put her in all these super dangerous situations and then blame her when she got hurt. You know?
Wow.
She wouldn't give him no pussy. That's what happened. I'm trying to tell you.
She got a fucking concussion and shit. You know?
I'm trying to tell you. Let it be known that it was said here first on the Drunk Banthers channel.
This is how Hollywood people act.
That motherfucker said, "Hey, will you suck my dick? I'm gonna shake my wee wee." And she was like, "No,
thank you. Thanks, no. I'm good."
No. You know,
maybe
that's how it goes.
Maybe she didn't say thank you because maybe she has more of a spine than I would.
Well, she probably said, "No, go fuck yourself." But she also had more power than he would have had at this point in her career.
Sure. I think
maybe.
Oh,
he does seem like kind of a director for hire.
Yeah, he's definitely just here because we've got these other stars who we need somebody to Phil Jackson coach this big team to a championship.
Yeah. We don't really at some point, like Spielberg, like flew out to the set and like to tell him to fucking get his shit together because
damn,
yeah, man, this
because everybody hated him. The crew like went on strike because he was like making them work crazy long hours and like in unsafe conditions. Shit. Crazy.
He's like, we don't actually have to use a tornado. Right? He's like, no, we're
waiting for a tornado.
We're waiting for the tornado. It's like, somebody call Steve. Somebody's out here telling.
Like and it's crazy sometimes, just like even the perception of power. I was watching an interview with DJ Qualls recently where he's talking about doing
a friend of the show.
He actually he made a little appearance on one of the podcasts. And he was talking about how he was working on a TV show, and one of the directors was one of the directors from Game of Thrones. And he just like, because he directed Game of Thrones, he felt like he had just like a more of a power dynamic where he was like the most important person in the room. And DJ Qualls was like pretty immediately is like, hey man, you're not better than anybody else on here, and you're gonna just like create a toxic environment if you keep acting that way. So that kind of sucks.
That sounds like DJ. DJ is kind of upfront.
Yeah, he don't give a fuck.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Well, I didn't want to say that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, in cool meeting shit. DJ, very cool. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you want to hear some crazy shit? Hang out with DJ.
Yeah.
That's dude.
Yeah, one of the easiest people to talk to.
Yeah.
Like if you're worried about an awkward silence, there will never be an awkward silence when you're talking to DJ Qualls. But yeah, like that pretty much talked about everything that happened in this movie, right? That's pretty much
talked about it.
I want one of those spinny fans things.
The little wind chime things.
Yeah, remember the one that she had that went.
Oh yeah,
like this. It was only when there's tornado winds because they kind of crosswind when the wind is coming.
Right, you can see,
and so you can then see that.
That's a cool visual.
It's a windmill. That's what it is. A windmill.
Yeah,
not a windmill. What's the damn thing when it's pointing the direction that the wind is pointing?
Weather vane.
That's it. Yeah.
Applause, please.
I know. I need.
Please clap.
I'm looking for it. You know what?
Well done. But yeah, I guess it's about time to ask that very famous question.
Does it hold?
That's right. At the end of each episode, we vote on whether this film stands the test of time. And as always, we do.
Oh,
that's pretty much what we do here.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I remember that.
But since Mariana, you're our special guest, we'll let you vote first. Does Twister 1996 hold up?
That's the wrong question to ask me. It's a difficult question to answer, genuinely. I can't tell if it holds up just as a sort of like product of its time and it's fun to watch because of that, or if it actually holds up as a movie.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because it's definitely fun.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable to watch. But is it good?
Well, see, hold on. Let me alleviate that for you because I forget to say it sometimes because we've been doing this for a while. But let me explain it to you. The show is not about whether or not the movie is
I
good.
know, but whether it holds up is dependent on this.
It's not whether or not you like it. It's just whether or not could it be made.
This has nothing to do with whether I like it. Okay, there we go. No, this could not be made today. Absolutely not.
Okay. Now
they did it, and it was different. Because you can't make this movie today. Can't be the same movie.
Can't be the same movie.
It's a completely different movie today.
Well, no, if you take this movie and put it in today.
No.
Can't take
and my evidence is that they did remake the movie and it was different. So no, it doesn't hold up. That's my answer.
Boom. Well, I don't have a ding for that one, but I will give it this.
Well, I guess I have to ask you the question.
What?
Does it hold? I love it when it's off timing.
That's the point. Sometimes I'm just really good and it actually is on time and I'm like, fuck.
It's a lot of pressure.
It is. It's hard to be off time. But
that stupid joke started, by the way, when we were just doing the Does It Hold Ups via Zoom, and it's impossible for us to line up with the other person on Zoom. So it was always off. So I like it now. I like it. I love that it's still off. But yeah, sorry.
You're welcome.
I asked you a question, then I interrupted you.
Yeah, my answer to the question is it holds up. I'm only gonna say it holds up because it's movie. It's movie. It's not a favorite movie.
It's movie. It's fun.
It is.
It's fun. You put it on when it's on TV. You ain't gonna turn this off. It's on TNT. I don't even watch TNT. I was just watching this tennis tournament. Somebody told me to watch, and then boom, now it's on. I'm not gonna change it.
I'm not mad about it.
I'm not mad about this. I will watch commercials in between. I'll go to the bathroom when the commercials come on.
Maybe you miss it. Maybe you miss 30 seconds.
Maybe I miss. I'll order a pizza, or I'll wash dishes while it's on. I'm listening still. It's cool.
Everything's good.
It's movie, so it'll hold up. A lot worse things have come out this year than Twister. So
that is true.
And actually, I've had to quit thinking about Madam Web in thinking about a lot of these doesn't hold up because it's like that movie coming out alone makes a lot of things hold up. So I have to not think about that to be truly objective.
Man, really in this era of movie making in like the late 90s, early 2000s, it was like every movie was good.
It good.
There's so many movies that were just like, and like people say mid as if it's like a bad thing,
right?
But mid is just like that's fine. It's good. Like,
middle class.
Middle
class is a bad thing. Mid-weed is not a bad thing.
Weed.
You still get high.
I survived on mid-weed for so many years. But mid movie used to be good movie, which used to be every movie.
Yeah.
At least, 90% of movie.
It was weird if you went and saw a movie and it was
bad.
That sucked. Or like, I didn't get it. I watched Ravenous the other day.
Ravenous?
Yeah.
I have not seen that.
It's a really weird cannibal Western.
Oh, is it
with
older?
Guy Pearce. It's from, I think it was in 2000.
Okay. Son, cannibal Western is wild.
And it's like really strange. But like today it kind of reads different. It's like kind of a cult movie now.
Yeah.
And, so like it was like that was your choice back then in this era of movie making. Either all the movies were good or it was bad just because it was before its time or whatever. Like it was just like, people didn't get it. Or it was like weird. And then people were like, oh, it was actually pretty cool. Like 15 years later.
It was weird and it was low budget. So then it was like, what?
Yeah.
But you could see the artistic
Yeah, there's still heart.
Flows,
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, you still see the
not
forest
like
through the
today.
trees.
You know what?
Every
The
movie's
reason
bad.
these kids are fucked up these days, they ain't got no movie theater, like no video store to go into.
Man,
Video
what a
stores
loss.
have the categories.
Yeah. When I lived in Tucson, there was there's a video store still open there.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really great. They rent DVDs and they have popcorn and like it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
so much fun.
And I'm not talking about them garbage ones with the fucking used bullshit DVDs and shit like everywhere and videotape cassettes and shit. Like,
yeah,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a real
store.
one with some good lights. I need
Uh-huh.
good lighting. I need a shelf. I need
You
categories.
need a Hastings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You need a Hastings and it's
Yeah, I need a
In its
bin.
heyday.
I need a bin where there's $1 bin.
Yeah.
Where you can buy one game for $1. I need that kind of a place.
Yeah.
With the candy in the glass and all that shit. I'm not getting the candy, but you know what I'm saying? Because kids don't get to see these different categories.
Yeah.
You know,
Used to be you would go to the movie store and you'd like look around,
look around.
look around and like pick up the weirdest.
Well, they had the browse function
weird-
on Netflix. That's what that's what that's for. But I will say,
Does it hold up?
I guess I do have to be the tiebreaker on this
Yeah.
Alex,
because
does it hold up?
I will say that I enjoyed this movie a lot, and I enjoyed the remake or like the sequel a lot too, because I feel like they corrected a lot of things, or not even corrected, but they just made a lot of elements from the first film a lot better. And like I definitely enjoy the new film more, but like even rewatching the old film, like I feel like it still holds up because again, like dude, like you were saying, it's just like a nice Sunday night special. Like it's not anything like it's not anything amazing.
Sunday night special. I'm just laughing. Go continue.
Why?
I said
Why?
continue. I threw it. I said continue, and I said I was sorry for laughing.
But yeah, like it's just a fun time. Like, and it's not trying to do anything.
But do you think that's because it's nostalgic for us?
I think that it might be a little nostalgia. But I don't know. I like to think that I'm able to step away from it.
I was never a Princess Bride kid, and like somehow it just passed me by my entire childhood, and so I didn't see it until I was like 15. And when I finally saw it, I was like,
yeah, I was like, what's the point? Yeah,
like this is Princess Bride. Okay, and I feel like that's.
I do feel like that they're definitely movies. Like I was telling somebody the other day, like I feel like you have to watch Star Wars as a kid because otherwise, like you're gonna be like, what the fuck is the point?
George Lucas said it's made
silly
for 12-year-olds.
Yeah,
like it's you had to catch that at a certain age for it to like really hold on to you. And I like
even though the people who like made it famous as it is today were like 17 years old when it came out. Like
this came out in 96.
Yeah, 96. This one came out in 96.
Fellowship of the Ring started production like 2 years before this movie came out.
God damn, really?
Like, isn't that crazy? Like, talking about movies that hold up. I mean, I've got Lord of the Rings on the mind because I'm. That's all.
But Lord of the Rings came out in the 2000s.
Guys, check out Morbid
Jesus Christ! I'm just saying,
like, series about Lord of the Rings.
I'm just saying, like James Cameron and him are the only people who've gotten that much time to work on a movie. Like, goddamn,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
A lot of somebody really like Frighteners. Where there's like,
yeah, I don't know
give him all
what
the
kind
money.
of blackmail he had on somebody else. It's crazy how.
We know what kind of it was now. Now with all this information that we're getting now,
I mean,
I was close friends with P. Diddy.
I mean,
or maybe that's how Biggie got a #1 hit.
A couple years ago, I sat a friend down who'd never seen Lord of the Rings somehow.
Oh, wow.
And we watched it together, and he was like spellbound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it holds up. And I feel like, I don't know, like, oh yeah, I like Twister. It's fun. It's important. to me, you know. But
and I will say, like, it still holds up in the sense that I feel, even though the new film, excels in a lot of parts in this film where this film fails, I feel like it still falls in the Fast and Furious beekeeper like range, where it's just like, okay, this is still a fun time. Like, it's not terrible. I'm still enjoying it.
Have words to say about Beekeeper, but I take your point. Yeah.
I've heard so many people say that they love. I love the Beekeeper because Beekeeper's in the Madam Web era.
Alex loves terrible movies. Right. You have to be careful. You have to listen to the tone of his voice in which he says, I really like that movie. You have to listen to the tone because his tone could be insinuating that it is a piece of shit.
Well, you liked Furiosa too.
I will fight you with my hands about Furiosa. No, I had fun. That's where you'll see the distinction. It's like, if I feel like it's a good movie, that's different.
A good movie is a movie in which you had fun.
No, I'm talking about listen to his voice now.
Well, Beekeeper is a movie I had fun with. Dune Part 2 is a good movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said if you say you liked it. He gets this weird tingle in his voice. Like,
I liked it.
Oh, no.
That's it. That's exactly it.
This is not the end. This is only the beginning. This is just the start of the conversation of whether this film holds
so
up.
You thought you lost.
But it's really going to start in the comment section when people get real weird.
What did I sign up for?
So guys, let us know what
you thought it was over.
But guys, let us know what you thought of this film in the chat, and also let us know what you thought about the new film. We talked about it enough. But yeah, guys, that pretty much ends this episode. But before we get out of here, I know we could talk about this movie for another 2 hours.
No, you could. Really I cannot.
But Mariana, where can the people find you?
We barely talked about this movie for this hour.
Mariana, where can the people find you on the interweb?
I'm at the Morbid Zoo on YouTube. There's links to my Instagram and the other shit over there. Like, I don't know. I don't want to point people to Twitter anymore because fuck that place. It's awful. And like I never use it, and I pull it up, and it's just like, racism, transphobia, Elon Musk being a fucking weirdo and offering to impregnate Taylor Swift. It's a horrible place. I don't want to use Twitter anymore. Don't follow me there.
I want to start a fake account as a woman, because y'all see some crazy shit. Yeah, y'all see way more crazy shit than anybody, and it's just fascinating to me.
I mean, the thing about Twitter these days is that I think that's everybody's algorithm, because Elon just makes people look at that shit.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I had to end this on the weirdest note.
No,
I'm at the Morbid Zoo. This is how. This is how I run my channel.
It's okay. I have a whole
happy conversations and turn them into.
It's okay. I have a whole video where I ranted about telling Elon to suck my dick and all kinds of shit.
I mean,
it's okay.
And
it was live.
But guys, definitely check out the Morbid Zoo YouTube channel. It'll definitely be in the video description, and I'm gonna put a couple links up at the top here where you can
up here.
It'll be
it'll be here, and then
it'll be somewhere up there per channel before I was even a friend. So I implore you guys to check out some of her videos. That is it for our show. Thank you so much for watching. New episodes drop every other week at 4:20 a.m. on Wednesday. Now it'll be on Wednesdays instead of Mondays. Check us out on all social media platforms at The Drunk Banthas. Please like and subscribe. It is not required, but if you don't, you will not be invited to the cookout. See you in a couple weeks. Take care.